What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode here at Eisei-en. This week we're in the midst of prepping trees for the upcoming ABS convention, which is going to be held this coming weekend over in Olive Branch, Mississippi, which is kind of maybe 20-30 minutes south of Memphis, Tennessee, so about 3.5 hours from here. So we've got trees from several clients and students that we're going to be taking over and setting up for the show. I, of course, will be a demonstrator there, so I'm going to take you along for that ride as well and show you kind of some of the behind the scenes of how these exhibitions work. But this week we actually need to get these trees prepped for the show. So I'm having a couple of buddies come over today to help me dial these trees in, put the moss on the soil surface, clean up the pots, get the dead wood all cleaned up, set the branches in their final positions, and then we're going to be transporting these trees over tomorrow morning and setting them up for the show. So before the guys come over this morning though, I want to take you around and show you a couple of the trees that we have here in the nursery. This is one of the best times to be out here in the garden in the early morning light with a nice cup of coffee, just walking around and enjoying the trees. So let's take a look at what we got in the nursery today. We got Yannick from Bonsai in the house today. How's it going?
I'm fine.
What you working on today?
This raft Hinoki.
Hinoki cypress, all right.
Yeah, Hinoki cypress.
Excellent. Perfect. George, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Excellent. George is out from California this week.
Yes.
Yep, helping prep trees for the show. So we had a fantastic day yesterday with the guys here at the nursery getting the trees all dialed in for this upcoming show. Of course, we had Yannick Kiggen from Bonsai over in Belgium. He was in the house for a couple days helping me out here. We also had Edwin Robling, who's one of our good students here in our intensive classes, lives in West Tennessee, came over to help us out. And of course, the one and only Mr. Tommy Lee from Mötley Crüe showed up for the day to work on some of the deadwood features on the tree, get the lime sulfur painted, and put some moss on the soil surface. So absolutely fantastic hanging out with those guys yesterday. We got a boatload of work done in a very short amount of time. There's no way that I was going to be able to do all of that myself. So shout out to all three of those guys for helping out yesterday and making sure that all of these trees were in tip-top shape for the show. Now today, obviously it's a little bit rainy out here at the nursery. I'm by myself. I'm gonna have to load up these trees into the van and then we're gonna head over to Olive Branch, Mississippi, just south of Memphis, to set up for the exhibition. So before we do that though, I wanna show you a couple of the trees that we did work on this week. A couple of them you'll recognize from previous episodes here on YouTube or maybe from other events. But we've got some really special trees that are going in the show and I wanna share those with you guys today. So the first tree I want to show you here is this Shimpaku Juniper right beside me. This is a tree that we actually featured on a YouTube video just a few weeks ago. I think it was called Repotting a 300-Year-Old Yamadori Bonsai or something like that. But I managed to get this tree styled up this last weekend, cleaned up the undersides of the branches. We pruned out anything that was dangling down, reset the foliage into position, and then Tommy actually painted the lime sulfur on this tree yesterday and put the moss on the soil surface. So it is fully dialed in for this upcoming show. It's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the butt to transport it over there because it weighs a ton. And like I said, I'm here by myself loading it up today. So a little nervous about picking it up by myself. Done it a couple times before, but never when the pot has been wet, covered with rain. So we're gonna be extra careful putting this in the back of the van. But I think this is gonna be one of the standout trees at the exhibition. I don't think this is actually going into the judged portion of the show. It's just going to be on display, you know, to show off the beauty of bonsai to the public and to the people who are attending the exhibition. The next tree I want to show you guys is this Rocky Mountain Juniper behind me here. This is a very special tree. It took third place at the Artisans Cup out in Portland, Oregon a number of years ago. It's owned by a local client here down in Nashville. Actually, she lives down in Murfreesboro, about a half hour from here. But she brought it over to me a few weeks ago to style up and get it prepped again for this show. So this tree is actually called Eagle's Landing. That's what her late husband Mike Blanton named the tree. So we're going to be taking some little eagle characters over there and actually displaying those with this tree. So super excited to actually set this up and get people's reaction to the overall display. We did it! One of the most important skills you learn in Japan as a bonsai apprentice is how to load up a vehicle properly with all of the bonsai. When I was studying at Fujikawa-san's nursery in Osaka, every year we would take basically half of the nursery up to Tokyo for the Kokofu, or the Japanese National Exhibition, every February. And we would do it in just 2 trips in a Toyota Hiace, which is a van that's a little bit bigger than the one that I have here. So you learn how to Tetris things together so that none of the branches are touching and none of the pots slide around in the back. So luckily we have a little bit of extra space after loading the van up today. It went very successfully, so I can actually fit my luggage down in this little pocket in the back. I was actually kind of concerned I wouldn't have room for the trees, much less my luggage, but we managed to get everything loaded in, and now we're ready to head over to Olive Branch, Mississippi and set these guys up for exhibition. Alright, so we managed to make it over here to Olive Branch, Mississippi and get all of the trees set up in the exhibition hall. Now what's crazy is that the competition is actually going to be very stiff this weekend for the trees that are actually being judged, because some of the other bonsai that got brought in and some of the displays that were set up are really, really nice. There's actually going to be kind of a special exhibition within the exhibition of more avant-garde and kind of strange displays. So one of the trees that we brought in, Eagle's Landing, is going to be a part of that. We've added some little eagle features within the tree, some little figurines and whatnot, which is typically not my style, but for this type of exhibition I thought it was kind of a cool thing to do, you know, really sort of bringing to life the name of the tree. But some of the other trees that are part of this have really beautiful paintings displayed with them. There's even one with a drawing of Elvis, which is kind of cool. I mean, we're only a few miles from Graceland here, so might as well have a little bit of Elvis love in there. So it's kind of cool to see all of these trees set up in a little bit less of a sort of standardized traditional format. Now that being said, most of the other displays in the show do sort of follow that Japanese format, and there are some incredible trees on display. So I'm really excited to see what the other judges have in mind in terms of what they like and how they critique those trees. You know, this is one of the more interesting and fun aspects of bonsai, bringing your trees to a show, putting them on display, showing everybody all of your hard work, and then getting constructive criticism from other professionals. It's what elevates the level of bonsai, not only in the States, but everywhere in the world. Now tonight, I don't know if I have a demo or not. I know for sure we're doing some workshops tomorrow and demos later this weekend, but I'm gonna go downstairs right now, check it out, see if I got a demo going on. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. If I do, I'll see you at the demo tonight. So let's head down and check it out.
With all due respect, I'm gonna take a few minutes just to try to get it into my head, and then I'll chop it away like crazy.
Also try to discover a little bit the base of the tree that can give me a little bit of an idea if I wanna change the angle of the tree, change the inclination, and find out which one could be the best front, and then together we can make some decisions.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. I've got my Starbucks coffee here, got some food from Starbucks as well, so we're going to get loaded up on caffeine and a little bit of protein, and then we're going to head back, do some workshops today, and I do have a demonstration tonight, so super excited about that. Should be a lot of fun. We got people from all over the country here. The trees in the exhibition, like I said yesterday, look amazing, so hopefully there'll be a lot of people walking through the show today getting inspired to build out their own trees. So finish up breakfast here, we're going to head over and start the workshops.